Hi guys, it's Jo Labbé here with Soul Connections this evening. How you guys doing? It's the day before Valentine's Day, so it might be a good idea for us to clear our energy before we step into this huge day of love celebration, which can be amazing or horrifying depending on who you are. So tonight, my team has given me a different deck. We've used it before, and I'm not surprised they gave it to me now. So it's let me see if I can get it up here, the Art of Tarot, the Art of Love Tarot. And I usually don't use tarot decks, and because people have a sense of what they mean, and then they interpret it. I still use these by pulling them and having my team tell me what they mean. And I don't worry too much about their connection to the tarot. It's often very similar, but it shifts because it's not a traditional tarot deck. So I'm just putting that out there. So welcome to all you guys who are here. I'm a little under the weather. So, I may be using tissue and tea and my essential oils to move through this, but I think I've got it. So if you notice that, that's what that is. You know how it is. You go on vacation and then you come back and you almost need a vacation from your vacation. I think that's kind of what it is. And so I wanted to share, so many of you asked me about my trip to Florida. I wanted to share with you, these are my ears. They now do all these fancy Mickey Mouse ears. You know, we used to have those old traditional like black hats. Those you could still find, but this is all the fashion now that you have to have these stylish ears going on. And it was funny to see that it was so many women of so many ages who were bringing out their inner mini, and mine, of course, had to have some Mardi Gras energy because, that's kind of that's who I am, But it was a really cool experience to see. I love going places where people bring out their inner child and just play. It was a lovely time to do that. And, I got to see some of my favorite characters. Some of you saw me with Winnie the Pooh. And he's one of my totem animals. So it's a double win for me. I get extra excited. And that's how I actually started my trip. We walked in the park and kind of came around the corner, and there they were. So it was my inner child just had a fabulous time from there. So thanks for all of you guys who sent well wishes, because it was a very much needed vacation and much needed break. But I will tell you that I did miss you guys. It was a little weird. I was really antsy. You could ask my husband on Wednesday night. I'm sitting in the restaurant kind of like rocking, like I was missing something. And he's like, "It's okay, you're not working today." I'm like, "I know, but I feel like I should be." So I was even thinking of you while I was gone. So that's how that works. So for those of you who've been here, because a lot of you have, this is your time to connect with your spiritual team and to do your own healing work. I am here as a conduit to help you with that. My team works with your team, and I clear the energy of the group, because sometimes it's hard to clear our own energy. We may be aware of it, but sometimes we have a hard time moving it. And that's just because it's always a little easier when we can just sit back and allow. So if you know anybody who could use some healing, or maybe would like some guidance through the card readings later, please like and share our broadcast. Here at Star Nations, we know that most of it comes from you guys getting the word out and sharing it, because without you, we wouldn't reach people who actually really could use some help. And I know that it works because there's a lot of people who reach out to me on a weekly basis for extra help and extra guidance. And That's my mission. So thank you for helping me do my soul's mission by healing the healers and getting you guys out doing and being what you're meant to. So, and I want to say a quick thank you to my co-pilot, Neshi, because without her on Wednesday nights, I wouldn't be able to stay grounded and do as many readings as we do. So with that, why don't we get started? So we're going to do the meditation and the clearing first. And we're going to start by really grounding our energy. And people talk about that all the time. Ground your energy. What does that mean? It means being here now, right? So to do that, you want to have your arms and your legs uncrossed. You want to have your spine as straight as you can have it. And just take a couple of deep breaths and let go of any thoughts, beliefs, and worries that have been spinning through your day or through your week, and just be here in this moment for you now. Everything else will be there when we're done. And let's call in the divine, however you connect to that, whether you are someone who senses creator or God or goddess or all that is, or consciousness, oneness. We all have our own way of connecting. So just take a deep breath and invite that energy to come in and work with you. And now invite in your spiritual team, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, all divine, of the highest, brightest, and fullest vibration available to you right now. Yeah. And you're going to hear me make some clearing noises. And we're going to set the intention that this healing and these readings this evening are for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. Yeah. 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 And we ask the divine to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light. So we have this nice, beautiful healing cocoon around us, allowing us to feel held and protected. And if you need a second bubble around the space or the room that you're in, you can ask for that as well, because we want you to feel relaxed and comfortable and open to doing the healing that you would like to do this evening. And if you have an intention for your healing, you can ask that or state that now. Maybe there's something that you know isn't working in your life that you would like to shift. For those of you who watched yesterday's show about intimacy, we were talking about cords of connection. So I know there are a few of you who might like to find cords that are not serving your highest good. So you can set that intention to find those and to have them released. Yeah. And we're going to begin by calling in the divine to our crown, to the top of our head. Just take a moment to experience that. Do you feel light or tingling? Do you feel pressure? Do you feel cold or hot? Yeah. Good. Yeah. 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 And now we're going to invite the divine energy to begin to come in and clear our third eye, our sixth chakra. And as that energy comes in, allow it to clear any thoughts, ideas, beliefs, patterns that may be spinning in your head, things you're trying to figure out. We just want that energy to quiet and calm in this moment so that the divine energy can call in some more clarity to help you, guide you, and assist you.
Yeah.
An energy that's connected to our past that we've been mulling about, wishing we could change. Anything that is calling to us from before. Just allowing that to come into this moment, into this breath.
Yeah.
And now calling home any energy that's distracted into the future. The what ifs and the could be's and the possibilities. So we want to bring all the energy that we can call forward to be back with us, to help us with this healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to ask to open our connection to our spiritual team in all the ways possible so that we can receive more message with more clarity, a clear knowing, a clear sensing. And so that we can hear our spiritual team or understand the messages that are being sent to us symbolically. And so that we can be heard, what we need, what we want. And asking all of our senses to work together as a team, our 5 senses, our intuition, and our divine intuition. Because then we can have true clarity more quickly, more easily, more gracefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
And opening our ears so that we can hear more fully and be heard more fully by others. Opening and expanding our communication in all ways, directions, and dimensions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Expanding our throat, making room for us to speak our authentic truth and to be our authentic creative self.
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
And releasing any words that we've held on to that we wished we had said, or any energy of words that we said in an unkind manner or that were said to us in an unkind manner. And any stress that we're holding on to and tension in the back of our neck and in our shoulders. For all of that comes from not feeling and being who we truly are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And taking a moment to release all the responsibility and the burdens that we carry upon our shoulders for ourselves and for others.
Yeah. Yeah.
For there are times when that energy just simply weighs us down. Just allowing your spiritual team to release that from your body just for this moment so you can feel lighter and brighter. And clearing the energy down the spinal column. And moving into the heart. And allowing your energy to begin to clear any old sadness and grief, disappointment, and frustration that you may be carrying there. Any shame that you may be holding on to. And really making room for compassion. Compassion for yourself, first and foremost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And beginning to check in with our inner child. Seeing how our inner child is doing. Is it cranky? Is it bored? Is it tired? And really clearing anything that the inner child is holding onto for you. Any old trauma or wounds, any old sadness, any injustice. For the inner child holds the purest heart that we are able to access. Bringing back a sense of wonder, excitement, joy.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
There we go. Now connecting with the inner adult, that responsible part of us who takes action, who is in charge of all the doing, releasing any stress and tension from the adult, giving them a moment to breathe, releasing them from responsibility and all the doing, and giving them a moment of simply being.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And connecting to your inner warrior, the part of you that takes action, seeks justice, is ready to fight any fight for you. And just giving them a moment of peace. There's no need to be warring within at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And connecting to the sage elder, that ancient wise one that we all carry within us, that we have carried for each and every lifetime. The part of you that contains all the wisdom of all the lifetimes that you've ever accumulated. making sure that your communication is open so that you can access that knowledge whenever you need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just allowing the heart to have more space, more room. Releasing the shields, the barriers that we may hold up on a regular basis. But right now, it is just you and your energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can release the armor for just a moment. Now moving down into the third chakra, right below your rib cage. And looking at any fear energy that you may be holding on to. And fear has many shapes, sizes, and forms. And sometimes it's frustration and anger. Sometimes it's stress and overwhelm. Sometimes it impacts our self-esteem, our self-worth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes we hold on to old emotions here, especially anger. Anger loves all the fire that resides in that third chakra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's righteous anger or judgment energy, assumption energy.
Yeah.
We sometimes place a lot of blame energy in this area too. Blaming others for what has occurred or blaming ourselves for things we couldn't control.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And moving down into our second chakra just below the belly button.
Yeah.
Really checking in with that water element because that is how we flow in our life. In our feelings, emotions, in our relationships, in all that we do and all that we be. And removing any toxic energy in here, anything that is pulling you out of balance. Whether you're in a tug of war with yourself or with someone else, allowing that energy to simply drop the rope. Because there's no need for that.
Yeah.
Returning it to a state of ebb and flow. Also clearing the pressure in your lower back. That happens when we don't feel fully supported in our relationships. opening the pathways to the hips, allowing the second chakra to begin to ground more fully with the first. Taking root in our physical and our spiritual life.
Yeah.
Now moving into the first chakra, right below your tailbone. Connecting to your original tribal family energy, your safety, your security, all of your survival needs, food, shelter, finances.
Yeah.
Allow that energy to begin to move down your legs. Allowing the connection to Grandmother Earth. Because our energy goes beneath the surface of the earth. And allowing our energy to go down to meet the earth deep within. And if you have difficulty, just imagine Grandmother Earth reaching up and grabbing a hold. Holding on to your ankles so that you know you're being held. Lovingly. And allowing any energy that you are ready to release to simply flow down into the earth. To be composted, dissolved, and turned into beautiful new creation energy. Because the more we're willing to release that is stuck, the more wonderful creation energy we can call in.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And now we're going to ask Grandmother Earth to fill in all the nooks and crannies with that beautiful molten lava energy from the center of the earth. And that golden honey, as it fills up beneath our feet, begins to work our way up. So there are no places where we have holes or tears. We're just all full, complete, and whole. And we have room for wonderful new energy to come in. And as it moves up our legs, filling the whole pelvic floor, filling up our spinal column and our lower organs, moving up into our upper organs,
Yeah. Yeah.
and beginning to move into the heart. Really allow it to fill in the heart and the lungs and the rib cage fully. This is where we hold our holy grail, our cup of life. Just imagine that cup filling fully and even overflowing. As it overflows, it begins to move down your shoulders, into your arms and your hands. And it moves up your spine, up your neck, to the back of your head, filling your whole skull, even your ears and your eyes, and spilling over to surround you in all your auric layers, repairing any tears and holes you may have. Especially near the throat in the front. Behind your head, near your ribs, in each and every direction, in each and every dimension. Yep. And now take a moment to just send healing energy down to Grandmother Earth in gratitude for all that she does. Good job. And now take a moment to thank your spiritual team for being present for you, for being here for the healing, for the guidance. And the extra protection. And gently begin to bring your energy back. Grounding, rubbing your feet on the floor if you need to, rub your hands together. Sorry about my nose blowing, but that's just going to happen.
Go ahead. I'm going to put you on mute. So go ahead and do what you need to do.
Thank you.
I think I can.
So we're doing the card draw again. I'm using the Art of Love Tarot deck. And as I said earlier, I don't concern myself with it being an actual tarot deck. I'm really concerned about the message that's coming through. So some of you may get caught up in what the traditional draw may mean, but this is a very non-traditional deck. So, listen to the message. If it resonates for you, great. Take it forward. If it doesn't, maybe it's a message you're meant to pass to somebody else, right? So we're going to start with Rob. A couple people messaged me privately. So Rob, your card is the ego. And the ego is one of the soul cards. It's a major arcana card. And this is the collapse of the ego. This is a reminder that when we spend our time in our ego, we miss out because our ego holds a lot of fear, right? Our ego is afraid of change. So it would rather suffer in the same way that it has over and over again than to move forward into some unknown territory, which could be amazingly better. But because our ego doesn't know what it is, it's going to assume it's evil and is going to destroy us and we're going to die. So this is a time where you're going through a period where you're starting to understand that the ego and you are not the same thing. And that it's time for you to start listening to your heart's wisdom over the fearful voice of your ego. And while it may seem like everything's falling apart, it's because everything's falling together. in a brand new way. And that's always a difficult thing. And since I know you love the tarot deck, this is the Tower card, dear. That crash of divine inspiration comes and throws you out of the tower that is too small for you because you need to think bigger and be bigger. Ta-da! All right, Julie. Another soul card. This is the Magician. And the Magician in this card is a little bit different because this is, you do possess all the tools that you need to go forward on this stage of your journey. You're in this new phase of your life, a new phase of your life, a new chapter, right? And you have all the tools. But there is a little more fool energy to this Magician. So the Magician needs to be careful because it can be a little impulsive. Leaping before you look, which can be great at times, but be mindful whether it's your heart leading you or the ego leading you. Because when we have the Magician card in this deck in the beginning, it's very much an ego impulse control. So it's trying to take you down the same path that you've been down before, except you're in this new chapter and you aren't supposed to do it the same way. So notice where your impulses are to do things the same old, and look inside of you and see if there's a different way to do it. So be aware of the impulse and choose to take different action. And that's what it means by you have all the tools in your tool belt, right? That you can do whatever you want, but lots of times we do what we've always done. So this is reminding you to take the opportunity when something new presents itself, put yourself out there and try it in a brand new way. All right. And for Jill, good luck on your journey tomorrow in New York City. So your card is the 3 of Stars. And I love this card for you because the 3 of Stars is opening you to envisioning new possibilities, which is a great sign for you, right? Because there's new possibilities, new hope, new ways of doing things that you've never even considered, that you probably never even heard of. And all of that energy is coming to you right now. So just be as open as you can to receiving it, because this is all happening in the physical plane. This isn't part of like a soul's journey. This is what you need for your physical body, is to be open to all these new possibilities and allow them to come in. Don't close them down because you haven't ever done them before, because it may seem scary, but some of the best things that are for us are scary. I think of Eleanor Roosevelt, who always said, do one thing every day that scares you. Well, that's what's coming. But this is all very helpful, joyful, new things. So it's a very good card. All right. All right. Christine. So this is the 10 of Stars. So the 10 of Stars has some hoarding energy to it, which means holding on. When we're holding on to the way it's always been and we don't want to let go. And we all go through that, right? In stages of our lives where, we don't want to let go of the past because it meant so much to us, but now it's time for us to journey forward. And this is just reminding you that you're sort of holding on, and that keeps your energy out of the present moment and in the past, which means you're not really physically here. And we all go through stages where we look back fondly on the past, but it's fine to look back, but not to go there. Does that make sense? So know that this is a time where you're going to step forward on this whole new way, and the past is there and it's beautiful and lovely and you can always look back, but you don't want to drag it forward with you into the future. This is your future, your time. You get to carve out your new pathway, the new way of doing things. You're the queen of your own queendom, right? All right. Bobby. Your card is the Six of Angels. And the Six of Angels in this deck is that you're going through a period that is, you're in transition. You're going from one way of living to another way of living, from one job to another, from one relationship to another. It's like all sorts of things are changing around you, but that's not a bad thing. It means that you are going through an evolution. So again, the ego gets scared and it starts chiming in, oh no, this is different. But that doesn't mean it's bad. So this still feels like very lovely energy for you. And it's kind of time to try new things. You know, the old way hasn't been working terrific, so why not do some new stuff? And this is really about sort of taking a step forward in your soul's journey as well. Even though this isn't technically a soul's card, it has a lot of that sensation to me. I feel like your heart's trying to move forward in a new way. So allow the transition to happen and just notice when you get nervous. And say, thank you for making me nervous, but I'm still going to try this new way. All right. All right. Hi, Andrew. Your card is the Five of Hearts. And the Five of Hearts has a lot of grief and sorrow energy in it. And it's we all go through stages of grief when we finish a relationship, right? Whatever the relationship may be. But this is that you are in sort of this stage where it's okay to let go of the sorrow. And the sorrow is attached to like visions you had of the future that are no longer possible in this dynamic. Doesn't mean that you don't have a future. It means you don't have the hopes and dreams that you had. But those were too small for you anyways. So allow yourself to feel any sorrow that you need to, any grieving that you need to release this relationship. But this was just a test for you. It was a way for you to see what you truly want in your life, not allowing someone else to overshadow what you need and what you want. Because you're a sweetie, so you tend to like give. And so, you know, you attracted somebody who likes to take. But that's not who you are supposed to have as part of your inner circle any longer. This is a time for you to open up your heart more, allow it to be vulnerable, be you, and let people see that part of you, because that's when you are going to attract new friends and new love into your life. So let yourself have those moments of sorrow if you need them. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have to grieve in our own time. All right, Randy. Interesting. So, Randy, you got the Empress card, which is one of the soul cards. And the Empress card is the kind of like the Queen Mother card. And so the Empress energy is that, you know, there's this sense of female empowerment. And female empowerment doesn't mean that it's just for women. When males embrace their feminine side, they really step into balance. They really become more accessible. And this is talking about being okay with a nurturing, loving energy being who you are, right? It may go, against the grain for how you may have been brought up or how society thinks of, the male role model. But this is saying be that nurturing, loving person, because that's who you truly are. And, an emperor card wouldn't fit you because that's that kind of very domineering, masculine energy. And it's inviting you to embrace that nurturing, loving part of you that still rules and that still has value and still leads, because that's where you will come into better balance in your life, in all aspects of it, your relationship, your job, everything. Like everything will, when you embrace that nurturing part of you, things will get even easier for you. All right, and your card is the 8 of Stars. So the 8 of Stars is like a surge of energy. And when that surge of energy comes in, it's usually creation energy. Like there's like this, you have all of this energy to be able to get a bunch of things done, to really create some new and different things for you. So use this gathering of old energy that's pushing you forward in a brand new way, because it's going to bring you a lot more peace and satisfaction in your life, and actually a lot more prosperity too. So this is about like taking this old energy and sort of using it to like push you forward in this new way. There's a lot of desire and passion energy attached to that. So it must be something that you really love to do or you've always wanted to do, because there's that extra push. Like even your inner child is on board this train. So go for it, because it seems really lovely. She's like, woo! We're on the going down the roller coaster. All right. So Laura. So your card is also one of the soul cards, the Major Arcana. And this one is called the Turnaround in this deck. And the turnaround is often you need to turn things on their head. And the best way I can explain that is, it's always been done one way. And it's basically time for you to kind of start a revolution and go, just because it's always been done this way doesn't mean it should be. So this is about finding things that really don't work for you in your life and finally switching them so that they're in alignment with what you believe and what you want and what you desire. There's a lot of good girl energy here, being nice and pleasing our family and, not causing waves. And it is so done for you. It's time for you to really open that voice. And as you use your throat chakra, the first few times it can be a little sketchy because we aren't used to saying what we mean. But that's what they're inviting you to do, because it's time for this pattern, this way of living to not be that way. It doesn't suit you, and it doesn't suit the people around you either. All right. I'm just gonna get a little. All right, Rowena. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a stuffy head thing. My students are probably laughing because we're in throat chakra for the school right now, and so it's pretty funny that I'm draining and clearing my sixth sense right right now. So it's not any surprise. So your card, dear, is the 6 of Stars. And in this deck, the Six of Stars is showing that you have success coming your way. Something that's been near and dear to you that you've been trying to manifest is about to come forward for you. And it's just this sigh of relief is really what I feel. It's like, I mean, it says that it's success, but it feels like, phew, that's finally done. And I'm finally on the other side of it and it's complete. And now I can move forward. So there's this heavy burden energy that's lifted off of you as well. So yeah, that's the big message, is that it's going to bring you some lightheartedness, but it's also going to take a lot of weight off your shoulders. I don't know if you've been working on something for a long time, and so it's just been dragging your energy down, but it's going to lead you to lighter and brighter things, which is great. Ah, Christina. Your card is the Four of Stars. Isn't that fun? So the Four of Stars is about an advancement, kind of like a promotion. And this is like you moving more in alignment with your soul and what your soul is wanting to do and wanting to be. And so you're taking a step forward in your soul's evolution and in what your life purpose is. And so it's like, it's like you're getting an upgrade, you know, and you know, energetically, you've been going through a lot of energetic upgrades. Well, this is attached to that. It's that soul promotion that you're getting as your vibration shifts and moves forward from all the work that you've been doing. So cool. All right, Karen. All right, your card is the Six of Hearts. So the Six of Hearts tonight is telling you, explaining to you that there's some energy from the past that's coming up that's looking to clear. It's not so much that you're in the past. That's that hoarding energy, right? This is that your past is kind of coming up in front of your face and saying, hey, you forgot to deal with me, and now you should. So surprise, surprise, right? As we're moving in, we're in throat chakra. What have you held on to and not said? What haven't you said to family? What haven't you said to friends? What have you been holding on to? This also feels like it's time for you to stop being the good girl too. And I know that hasn't been you recently, but there's still this sort of childhood, like do the right thing, little girl energy that's attached to this. So it feels like it might have to do with your sister. But it's something that's like glaring right at you that it's time for you to take a look at, because it has power over you and there's no need for it to. All right. So I can't wait to look forward to that. All right, Deborah. Ah, the Three of Trees. I love this card because the trees to me look like they're kind of dancing. They're reaching for the stars and the sun and all of that. So the Three of Trees is all about dedication. It's a period of time where you need some focus and repetition. It's that energy of, you know, when we want to change a habit, we can't just change it overnight, right? We have to do it over and over and over again for it to change. That's what needs to happen here. So it's like creating a new healing habit, for instance. Like a lot of people want to have more peaceful time, so they try to start a meditation practice, or they pick up yoga or stretching or exercise, but this is something that's going to take some time and some dedication for you. And just know that your inner critic is going to come in and be noisy and tell you you're doing it all wrong and why are you bothering, because that's what it's good at. But all the hard work will pay off. It's like you're building a new temple for your soul. How cool is that? I love that. All right, Michelle. So your card is the 8 of Angels. So the energy of this has to do with confusion. So just know that if things seem off, it's because they are. And confusion energy comes in when we are people who need to know. We need to know the outcome. We need to know what's going to happen. And so our team teaches us by bringing in lots of confusion. And so if you have a bunch of different things come in, not if, when you have a bunch of different things come in, we can go into panic, we can go into overwhelm, or we can go, oh, okay, there's a bunch of things that are falling onto my plate right now, but I don't have all the information to make a decision right now. So I'm just going to put the plate over here, and when I get some clarity on it, then I'll take action. And that's when we're empowered in our own energy. We don't need to know all the time. And so this is part of a lesson for you to be okay in the not knowing and just put those things off to the side until more information comes in, and then you can take action. Okay? Because I know you like to go and get things done. All right, Joanne. Yours is the 9 of Trees. I love this card. Love the big moon and all the hearts. So in the 9 of Trees in this deck, this is all about sort of, standing in your own power, but it's like refining your energy so that you're really clear on who you are. You're really clear on what you want and what you need. And it's almost like you're standing there and it's just taking the little bits of doubt off of you, and letting you stand still in your truth. So it's like you're going to go through this phase of like dismissing doubt. How does that sound? So you're going to be dismissing doubt so that it falls off of you and you just are standing fully there. And so it sort of refines you in your truth, that you no longer let the doubt sway your tree, but you hold firm in how you feel and how you think. Nice. All right, Violet. What a nice card for Valentine's Day. It's the 2 of Hearts. This is a union card. So the 2 of Hearts is when you really come together with another person. And often in a romantic way, not always, but this is about really coming together where your hearts are meeting. When we were talking yesterday in the chakra sessions, we were talking about connections and where we're connected. This is a heart-to-heart connection where it's just love flowing back and forth. And love, compassion, and intimacy in a different way. And this is about sort of connecting with another person, loving them for who they are, and them loving you for who you are. And again, this does not have to be a romantic partner. It can be, it's lovely when it is, but it can be a really good friend. Yesterday my godmother was on, and I have that with her. I get to be me with her, and she gets to be her with me. We don't have this fake persona that we put on around each other. And that's why we love to get together and play, right? Our inner children love each other. So that has that heart connection, that heart union. And that's what this is about. So this is a gathering of real solid love energy. So that's perfect for this time of year. All right, I'm going to grab a quick drink. So Christine is coming up next, I think. All right, Christine. Your card is the Four of Trees. All right. The Four of Trees is all about growth. How cool is that? So this is a period where you are going to grow, not only in your physical life, but your spiritual life. It's a time of you moving forward in a brand new way. But it's well rooted, because when it's the trees, it's all grounded, and four trees are like four legs on a table, right? You are so much more balanced when you have four legs to stand on. So this is about you sort of growing into who you are meant to be. And there's a lot of boost in your self-confidence is what I'm feeling. It's like you actually feel fuller. You feel more, full of yourself. And not in a bad way, but in you're starting to shine your light brighter. And so this is a time when you're actually going to sort of grow to this fuller place. All right. Shelley. You are very welcome, dear. This card is the Star. Love this card in every tarot deck. Because the Star is that your soul is at a point where it's shining brightly. And in this deck, there's also a lot of hope that's attached to it. So it's not just that you are shining brightly who you are meant to be, but there's a lot of hope for the future. There's a lot of promise that is out there for wonderful things that are coming your way. And this is where you're meant to be on your soul's journey right now. This is not a card for just today. Let me put it that way. This is a card for you for a while. The soul cards are often for, months at a time. And so you are in a space where you're in that star energy. You're starting to shine your light brightly. And there's hope and promise in the future, but you're also bringing hope to other people because they're becoming inspired by you as you're shining your light. So thank you. Get out there and do it, because we need all the light shining that we can get. There's too much darkness, so go for it. All right, so Cindy, you have the Knight of Hearts. I love how the all-seeing eyes are in his wings, right above him. And yet it still looks like the eyes are part of like the moon behind him. And this card is, in this deck, a Knight of Hearts is, kind of like the knight in shining armor. It's about that. It's a male energy that has a lot of protection, but that energy, he's sort of here to bring you true love, bring you romance, make you feel important and seen and held. And it can be you being that knight, feeling like, you love yourself more and you are willing to be there for you. But I do sort of see this outside person. It's funny. My team has an odd sense of Valentine's Day. I think it goes back to my childhood. So I'm seeing like this like homemade red construction heart was with the lace on the top and the sprinkles of glitter. And it's like him handing you his heart. And that is just so lovely. So I look forward to hearing what that is for you. All right. So am I doing it for Lily? Yes. Oh, Nancy's daughter. Okay. Hi. Your mom made my crown. and a bunch of other things. So your card, dear, is the Queen of Angels. She's got one of those crowns almost like your mom makes on her forehead, along with her wings and her heart. So the Queen of Angels is you stepping into a more beautiful vision. They're a visionary. They see what they want for their future and they start to create that. It's like, I'm not sure how old you are, but I'm seeing like graduation and college and, you know, art and different things like that. Like that you have all these visions of creation. And this is perfect because we need people who have those visions and share them with others, because a lot of people don't have that ability. So you have all this fresh, energetic excitement about that. So use it. Use that creation energy. Create those visions of what you would like in your future. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't have them, because you can have anything you put your heart's desire to. And that's what she's trying to show you, her heart. Let the heart take flight, right? With the visions that you have and the creations that you have brewing inside of you. Woohoo! Nice. All right. So, Pat, your card is Faith. It's the 7 of Stars. And the 7 of Stars is, you know, whenever the faith comes up, everybody has their own view of version of what faith means to them. And this is about believing in yourself and believing that the divine is here to support you and help you on your journey. Trust that they are here and guiding you. And sometimes what we're here to learn is patience. And so when we get antsy that things aren't happening the way we want them to, we're told to have faith. And it's really trusting that the divine has your back, trusting that your spiritual team knows what you want. And make sure that you've asked clearly so they can give it to you. So if it's not coming to you quickly, go back and figure out how maybe you can make it even more precise. So, hold on, I'm coughing. There we go. Like, say I want a new house. Okay, but how many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? Do you want a deck? Do you want it to have 2 floors, 1 floor? Where do you want it? How much land do you want it on? Do you want to walk right in and not do any repair work to it? Do you need to do, do you want to be able to fix it up yourself? Do you want it in a certain price range? You get what I'm saying? So you can't just ask for that. My favorite example is somebody asking for transportation. They didn't want to be specific, so they didn't get specific. They got an elephant. And so an elephant's great, but not what you want if you wanted a car, right? So if it's not coming quickly for you, then get really clear on what it is. But some of our learning experience is to trust and have faith and have patience. All right, Susan. The Page of Angels. So the Page of Angels is here to encourage you to step more into your mystical being. She's calling in, and a mystic is a divine psychic. So a psychic could tap into any energy, whether it's other people, people who've crossed over, or their spiritual team. A mystic is basically an oracle. They're connected to the divine, and that's what comes through. No surprise that you study at my school, because I teach that, right? For those who have that ability, it's very clear that we tap into the mystical abilities. And so it's encouraging you to step into that. We were having that conversation of you're not happy with your job. Maybe it's time to start looking at that mystic in you and see how she can be of service, because maybe that will feel more in alignment with who you are. All right. Tammy, glad you're new here. Welcome. So your card is a soul card as well. It's the wheel. And in the original tarot deck, a lot of people see the wheel as the wheel of fortune, like you can spin it and have whatever fate brings you. In this deck, it is about you've been spinning and spinning and spinning, and now you're about to have a breakthrough. Does that make sense? So in the breakthrough energy, it's that you've been stuck for a long time. And now you're going to have this burst. And this is on a soul level. This isn't just, this week or something. This is your soul jumping through and like going, aha, this is what I'm supposed to do next. And this is how I'm supposed to do it. And it will come in very much like that, like a divine download. So be prepared for that. And don't dismiss something brand new that comes in that way. Because when it's coming in that way, it's trying to tell you how to do things differently. And we get comfortable in the old ways. And this is something brand new. And it sounds awesome. So I encourage you to do that. All right. Mary. Yours is the King of Trees. And the King of Trees is actually more of an architect. So this is calling on you to start creating your own life. Lots of times we've taken jobs because we were good at them, but we didn't like them, or because that's what everybody in our family did. But this is time for you to start creating your own life, designing what you want it to look like. And it's calling on you to call the masculine energy of creation in for this, which means there's a lot more doing. And that's not a bad thing. This is all about you having the power and the will to create your own destiny, and call on that king to sort of put people in place if you need to, because you are the one who can create the whole structure of how that's supposed to be, and nobody else. So pay attention to that energy as it's coming in, and be comfortable with the fact that it's time for you to do it. All right? All right. Kimberly, thank you for the healing, sweetie. Nice card. Ace of Trees. Ace of Trees is all about abundance, my dear. Woohoo! And the Ace of Trees with the abundance is very often monetary, but it also can be an abundance of what you need to move forward on your soul's journey. But aces are gifts from God. So this will really feel like it came out of nowhere. And don't dismiss that, and just say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. More, please, because then it will encourage your team to send you more and the divine to send you more. But this is a very good sign. So I encourage you to call that in, because it's coming hot and heavy for you. All right, Cindy Lynn. Your card is the Three of Hearts. And the Three of Hearts is all about joy. And in the joy card, it's really about embracing all the levels of love that you have and that you can access in your life. We have friendship love. We have love with our children and our family, love with another. And this is really about opening your heart into joy in new ways. So I'm not sure if this is a romantic thing coming in, but it's really an abundance of joy, just filling your heart and allowing you to feel even more full of love for yourself. And so share that love for yourself with others, and you'll get even more joy coming in. And this has a lot to do with your inner child too, because she's very excited. Oh, of course, Beverly, welcome. Your card is the 8 of Trees. And the 8 of Trees is all about skill. And what they mean by skill is that there are times when we become an apprentice. It's time to learn new things. It's time to develop a new skill that will help you in the next step of your soul's growth. So it feels like it may be like a new class or a new practice, but it's really about you stretching yourself in brand new ways. And it can make us feel a little uncomfortable when we have to try something new. But this is all about you stepping up to the next thing. So I'm feeling like it's almost like you need this to get an advancement in your job and in your life. So don't be afraid of learning something new, because there's a reason for it and it's going to pay off big time later. Because there's a lot, trees are a lot about abundance. All right. All right, Maddie. Nice. Page of Trees. In this deck, the Page of Trees is the Dreamer card. So this is encouraging you. A page is new on a journey. It's kind of like a princess, but a page is, yeah, in the royalty. Helps out, right? A page is below like a knight. So the page is like new stepping out in accessing their dreams. And it's like time for you to start dreaming. You know, you're a manifester. It's time to start the next vision. Then what's next for Maddie? And only you know what that is. And maybe you need to sit down with your spiritual team to come up with that. But it's time to start dreaming, and pay attention to your dreams as well, because that's when your team is trying to talk to you, and really allow those dreams to start to take flight, because notice that it's the dove that's taking flight in all that divine energy as it flows upward. And that's the type of dreaming visions we're talking about. Nice. All right. Rochelle. Your card is the Retreat. It's also a soul card. And the retreat is a time when we actually are meant to go into contemplation. And contemplation is not spinning in your thoughts. Because a lot of people think, oh, I got to think about all these things. No. Contemplation is about getting quiet and then noticing what's there in the quiet, what's spinning around causing you difficulty, and then finding ways to shift that. And a retreat often means that you need to take a break, you need to go on a vacation, or you need to, create a sacred space where you can separate yourself. We get overstimulated with all the computers and the sounds and the noises and the TVs and whatnot. And sometimes we just need peace and quiet for us to hear our team and to hear what's being said to us. And so that's what you need, is some quiet, disconnected time from all of this. And give yourself a chance to do that, because this is part of your soul's growth and your soul's journey, is to stop and listen to your team and what they're trying to tell you. Okay? All right. Jacqueline. The Teacher card. This is also a soul card. So the Teacher is all about creating clarity. So the teacher wants the students to learn, right? So this is a point in your life where you're you're trying to help other people learn. You're trying to help create clarity. And sometimes the clarity is like, this is what I'm going to do with my life, and other people don't understand it. So you need to tell them and show them how that's going to show up. And this is about you really being clear and not wavering. That's one of the things they talk about with your soul's journey all the time, is that don't waver. When you know what you're supposed to do, don't allow somebody else's doubt to tip you over, because that is not at all who you are meant to be. And really embrace the energy of the teacher, so that when other people challenge you, you don't get angry. You show them why you are doing what you're doing, whether they get it or not, but you try to teach them the reason rather than getting defensive. And then you'll be in your soul's heart. It'll be a lot easier for you. All right, Rosemarie. Your card is also a soul card. It's the Sun. And the Sun is about pulling in vitality and all of this extra power energy. And I could use some right now, I think, some vitality. But the Sun is about you shining. You shine your brightest self. And it's like you and your inner child. Think about how you feel out the sunshine. How is that you're glowing, you're excited, and you're joyful, right? And that's the energy that you're in right now. And it's time for you to start bringing that out in a bunch of different ways, because this is your soul wanting to shine. So what makes you happy? And do that, and do it with other people so that you bring joy to them as well. And then they get to shine, and we have even more light. Okay, because we could definitely use it. All right, Mary, I think, is next. All right. Two of Stars. This is calling for you to be bold. Bold and brave. And usually that means it's time for you to speak your truth. Especially to somebody you've had a really hard time speaking up with. And, I can hear like the elders going, oh my gosh, she was so bold, right? Because, she spoke up when she wasn't supposed to. Yeah, well, somebody's got to speak up. And so it may feel a little out of your comfort zone, but it's time. And when you speak up, then there's like 10 people behind you who are all like, phew, I was thinking the same thing and I was afraid to talk about it. And you're the one who's going to pave that way. So what's coming up right now, and this is something really soon, that you just need to open up your throat, really be bold, say what needs to be said. Don't worry about the repercussions, but try to do it from a heart space, not from a blaming space, because nobody will hear you when you're in a blaming space. But when you say things like, when you do this, I feel this, and I would like to change that. How can we change that? That's when you're in your heart space and you're saying something difficult. Okay? All right. Oh, yes, Ben, of course, a new God thought from the water lady. It's always so perfect for Ben. So, Ben, your card is the Knight of Angels. And the Knight of Angels is one who learns by watching. So God is telling you right now that you're learning so much by watching. And other people may not understand how much you know, but you are learning so much just from being and seeing everything around you. And keep doing it, because it's part of your journey. You're here to observe. And then when you've seen enough, you can show people the way. that sound good? And I can't wait for you to start showing the way, because you have such a gentle, loving heart that we all could learn a lot from. Okay? All right. Crystal. Yours is the King of Angels. So the King of Angels is calling on you to be a peaceful warrior. There's a few of you who need to do this, apparently. It's a little bit of a theme. So sometimes you have to stick up for what's right. And we can't keep our mouth shut. And sometimes, especially as women, we're so afraid of conflict that we don't say anything. And then everybody is getting hurt by the words that aren't spoken. So this is time for you to step into a place where you're peacefully creating change. This doesn't work, and this is how we need to shift it. And it's in a very peaceful and loving way. And you're going to call on some masculine warrior energy here, not in an aggressive way, but in the way that change makers create change. Not all change makers are aggressive, right? You've got Martin Luther King, who peacefully battled, right? And Gandhi, who peacefully battled. And that's what we're talking about, is creating change from a peaceful place, but still putting your foot down that this isn't okay. All right. Maria, I haven't seen you in a while. Nice. Yours is the Knight of Trees. So the Knight of Trees is the custodian. And no, not the janitor. He's not sweeping up everybody's crap. The custodian is the one who is the guard and the keeper. Keeper of the flame. I don't know if you saw that, but he's holding the flame. So he's holding the flame. And the flame is your light, your personal way you're meant to shine your light, the way you're meant to expand. And he's sitting and waiting for you. He's guarding it, but you aren't holding it, owning it. So look for ways that you can shine your light some more. Really get yourself out there some more. What will push you past your comfort zone to really step forward into a new place and a new way? And he's there holding the energy, watching it for you, but it's not his job to hold your flame. He's guarding it, but you're the one who's supposed to pick it up and run with it, okay? Time to get going. All right, Mike. Your card is the Five of Trees. So right now, you may be feeling a lot of constraints and limitations, like you're being held down. You can't take action because all these things are keeping you from being able to move forward. And that's when we give it our power away. It's all an illusion. When we think something else is controlling us and keeping us from being who we are, then we are the one creating the limitation. We don't think we have enough power to create change. So all of the limitations that you're experiencing and that you're feeling that are compressing you, those are all of your own creation. Even though it may feel like other people are doing it to you, there's a reason you're receiving that, because you have a magnet for that type of energy. So any limitations you're feeling, look inside of you and look at, why am I calling this into my life? What do I need to learn for this so I can get it out of my life? I don't need this any longer. They're here to teach us what we don't want. And so go, I don't want you. And then move forward in a new direction. Okay? They don't have to bind us and hold us still. They're here to show us what we don't want in our lives. All right, Donna. Yeah, it's just all of my nose, really. My nose and my head. So you have a soul card, the 20. It's the Awakening. So when the Awakening card shows up in this deck, it's like you're having a spiritual burst of growth. It's like you're having this aha moment. You're not just using your third eye, you're using your all-knowing eye. And it's really allowing your soul to emerge into who you are meant to be. I feel like you've been holding back. You've been doing what you're comfortable with, and now it's time for you to sort of surge forth out of your comfort zone and really step into who you are. We sometimes take the easy route, like, oh, well, I've always done this, and so I'm good at it. I might as well keep doing it. Yeah, this is time for you to awaken the passion and the desire and the fullness of who you are. And you know that. It's like you've been playing it safe. Let me put it that way. All right. Michaela, your card is the universe. Nice card. The universe card is that you are at a point of completion. Like, not that your life's over, but that this part of your soul's growth and soul's journey is open. So you're in this very expanded energy. You know, use it and really be all these that happen when we're in the expanded energy. And this also means that you're about to begin a new soul lesson and a new soul journey. So take some time in the sweet spot of completion and feel how it is to be expanded before the next wave of soul lesson comes in. Because we're always constantly learning. We don't ever finish. We're always evolving and learning something new. So the next lesson is about to come, but take some time to enjoy that. So I guess that was the last card. And I am going to do Neshi's card, even with my nose running. So your card is the Three of Angels. And the Three of Angels comes to you for it's time for clarification. So what I'm hearing is you need to sit down with your team. And, you know, what's the next step? Get some clarity. You know, you put a lot of things into motion right now. But that doesn't mean it's time for you to stop. We want to, because we're like, oh, darn, I thought it was done. Everything's off my plate. I can have a break. And they're like, excuse me, time to check back in. So it's time to get some clarity on where you're going next. And I'm not feeling like it's a big deal. But it is definitely time for you to get that clarity and sit down with your team. They're waiting to talk to you. So with that, you guys, have a great rest of your night. Thank you for all of you who sent healing to me. And I will go take care of myself. And I will see you next week. And please, tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, there's this great guy named Ed Langen who is going to be doing this brand new show here on Star Nations. And I'm really excited about it because he's come and taught for people at my school and really shifted a lot for me, especially when it came to attracting more money. Darn, that's such a terrible thing. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And I will see you next week here at Soul Connections at 7 and Chakra Sessions next Tuesday at noon. And with that, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.